Hey guys, welcome to week 2. I hope everybody was safe during the storm. I quite enjoyed a day off, a surprise day off, because I never get to have one. Anyway, my family has said I should dress a little better for these videos, but honestly, at the end of the day, I'm tired. So I just put on my pajamas and here I am, and no makeup, nothing. So this is what I look like. Hope I don't scare you away. Anyway, we're in week 2. And I have made 2 videos, this one and the one following this. The second one is about implicit and explicit memory, and I have used a PowerPoint which is available to you in week 3. Okay, but I felt it was kind of relevant to what we're doing here, so don't panic. It's just me explaining some things, and you'll get the PowerPoint next week. In this video, I'm going to talk about our assignments and go over the readings, okay? So let me do that, and let's start with the assignments. We have week 2 discussion using the multiple dimensions of social work. So you would have been assigned a letter when you signed up for your triad and dyad presentations. So based on the letter that you get, you're going to have your prompt for this week. So this week, students who got the letter A will complete a micro prompt, B will complete meso, C will complete macro, and D will have therapeutic approaches prompt. So we will essentially be looking at Bruce Perry's case from multiple dimensions, okay, and it promises to be a very rich, invigorating discussion. So the case that we're going to discuss is about attachment. In fact, this entire week is about attachment, how our brain develops since childhood, what happens when trauma impacts it. So it's all about babies and creating new neural pathways and how we connect to each other. Van der Kolk talks about mirror neurons. You know, if you've ever fed a child, when you're feeding the child, your mouth opens, as if your mouth opening is going to have an impact on the child. And yes, it does, because of mirror neurons. People who are around you and watching you feed the child, even their mouth might open as they're watching this situation unfold. Okay, so this is a very minor example of mirror neurons, but we are built to do that biologically in order to connect to each other. Now, tigers can take care of themselves and lions can take care of themselves. They're able to defend themselves, but we humans need to be in a tribe, and we need to mirror each other and connect to each other. Now, trauma can be very isolating because no one can mirror it back to you. It is such a unique experience, and that's why trauma survivors sometimes feel very isolated. Also, if you're working in an environment which has a lot of trauma survivors, you start mirroring their trauma and you suffer from vicarious traumatization. So that's mirror neurons at work, and Van der Kolk kind of talks about it. Then you have Rothschild, chapter 2 and 3, and she's talking about, again, how the brain develops. And in the second video called Implicit and Explicit Memory, I've explained this a little bit more. Okay, so we are talking about increasing our knowledge of therapeutic approaches that help clients, including somatic approaches. So this is purely at the level of our body. Okay, understanding what's going on and being able to regulate it. Little things, for example, if you took medication, heart medication, that kind of gave you palpitations, and suddenly you started feeling scared for no reason. Okay. Your body is producing a response and your mind is trying to make sense of it. And the external sense of safety does not coincide with what's going on with you internally, and so a lot of confusion happens. So I will not know, why did I suddenly start panicking? Is there something in the environment? And I will start scanning my environment. But if I have the knowledge that the medication I'm taking has this side effect, I will be able to self-regulate and calm myself down and tell myself, this is just the medication, everything else is okay. Okay? So sometimes our body sends messages to our brain, sometimes our brain sends messages to our body. And how does this all work? That's what this chapter, these readings are about. Now, Levine talks about, these two are really great videos. I highly recommend them. This is Ray's story. He's a veteran, and he works, Dr. Levine works with him on purely physical level. And it's very interesting to see how he makes him, utter certain sounds or do certain actions. So I would definitely recommend watching this video. Here he talks about the paralysis that we suffer from when we are traumatized, that fight or flight reaction goes away and we just freeze and we're immobilized, and how to mobilize out of that, how to break out of that fear is all what the trauma therapy is about. Okay, so he's talking about that here. So this is a great video. This I talked about how our brain develops. It develops from the bottom up. Okay, and that's why if something happens to our brain, like a traumatic experience while we're very young, it disrupts the growth of our brain. And this video talks about it. This video also talks about it. Okay, and Dan Siegel, this is a great video. It talks about how our brain functions. It talks about the amygdala, the prefrontal cortex, and he uses the hand model. And this is Anna's story, the ACE study, or Adverse Childhood Experiences study. Okay, all this points towards what goes through our body when we are threatened, and what can we do on a very physical level to reduce this feeling of threat. And it talks about the various nervous systems that we have in our body. We will be concerned with two main ones, the sympathetic and parasympathetic. Parasympathetic is one that helps you calm down. So the way you remember is parasympathetic is a parachute, slows you down, also known as rest and digest. Sympathetic is someone that is sympathetic to your cause and will fight for you. That's how you would remember it. And that is fight or flight. Okay, so we're talking about how these get activated. In a traumatized person, in a regular person, these go these work like a seesaw. So if your fight and flight is aroused, your parasympathetic is lower. Okay, it's not functioning at that point. When the rest and digest is functioning, then the sympathetic is not. And that's how it should be. In trauma, they both get locked. And then immobilization sets in. And the feeling of threat doesn't go away. It's like there's a tiger standing next to the door. I want to run, but I'm too afraid to, and I freeze. And so this week's reading and all the videos, they talk about this reaction. Okay? So I look forward to receiving your discussions, and let's take a look at some of the other things that we have. So this is the discussion, and this is Danny's case study, and I have also posted this under the major assignments section, so you can click on that, and it's a video link, and it's Dr. Ginny's video, and she has really explained it very well, what is required for this. And then you have to upload your lit review article and also the population article. I'm sorry, you have to upload the type of trauma article and the population article. So these are two articles that need to be uploaded by Sunday for my approval. One thing I've learned is I should not record these videos at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm going to try and be a little better about it next time. But it was nice to see all your introduction videos, nice to put faces to names, and I look forward to hearing more from you.